Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you here today. Today is Thursday, the 22nd of August, 2019, and this is episode 359, in which is our 7th Podiversary. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, if somebody's not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join our group on Ravelry and introduce yourself in our introductions thread, because you'll get a shout out in our next episode and be able to participate in all our Allison giveaways.
Hint, hint, there's 14 giveaways later in this episode. If you're not a member, you can't win. And we're announcing the Artistic Autumnal Owl and those prizes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yes, it's been 2 weeks since you saw us. Dammy had her wisdom teeth out. It was a little more traumatic than we expected. She's alive. She survived. Look, she's right here with me. Live and in color. So thank you everyone for all of your well wishes and prayers and healing vibes and whatever you sent. We love y'all a lot. We're really grateful for you. I've had a really crappy day today, but I'm trying to pull it together because we are celebrating today and we're very excited. So, because it was 2 weeks since we saw you last, we have a lot to talk about. So this episode might be a little bit longer. Just throwing that out there for you. But I think the only thing to do about it is just to dive in. So here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
What's on your needles, Dammy?
I haven't gotten anything done on the Persephone wrap because I've been sort of sporadically working in the midst of trying to do everything else in the world.
And heal.
A pair of baby chino socks. This is my pattern. It's on US 3s, 3.25 millimeter needles, and the yarn is Bernay Softy Baby Solids. And no, this is Marls. Solids and Marls.
There you go.
That's what it's called. In the baby colorway. This is for a new baby for a family at church who just had a baby.
Her name is Dagny. So you finished the first sock. And you're starting on the second one. Okay. Anything else that you worked on besides healing your body?
Sleeping a lot.
She did sleep a lot. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
And what about you? What's on your needle?
A lot of stuff. So, Dagny, who Dammy's making the socks for, has a big sister. And so I'm knitting big sister a hat and baby Dagny a hat. So this is the Barley hat pattern by Tin Can Knits on US 4 3.5 and US 6's 4mm needles in the Bernay Softy Baby colors in the pink rainbow colorway. This hat is all but done. I finished it at knitting group last night, but I didn't have my pom-pom makers with me. So I will make a pom-pom today for it, and it will be finished. And then I'm going to knit a hat to match the socks Dammy's making, but I don't think this yarn, this is the same thing. It's the baby colorway. I don't think I have enough of this. So I'm going to knit as much of it as I can and then steal the rest that I need from Dammy. Mm-hmm. So those will both, pom-pom's happening today. This will be done by next week for sure. Hopefully even by Sunday maybe. Okay, and then last night, since I did not have my pom-pom makers at knitting group, I cast on for a pair of socks. Now, my dear lovely friends who've been watching us for at least a year, do you recognize this yarn?
Wow, what is it?
I have knit with this yarn before.
Wow, have you?
I have knit something for Dammy with this yarn before.
Wow.
So you might remember that I knit Dammy a birthday wrap last year that I didn't finish until like December. But it was in this yarn, but I had yarn left over. So I'm knitting socks for her. So these are going to be Dammy's happy 20th birthday Dammy socks. Using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. I don't know what is going on here. I think the cake needs to come back through And then I think it went through the needles. I'm on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles. There we go. And that yarn is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in the barrette.
Borealis.
It was right there and I just couldn't say it. Borealis hand painted colorway. I have not put it in the show notes yet and have not made a project page because, as I was saying, I have had a day. So I'm still working on the toe. So I do the toe magic loop, and then once the toe is complete and I have enough stitches, I switch it over to my 9-inch circulars and zoom. So I need to get the toe finished on that so I can zoom. Okay, and then I should have grabbed this. I'm working on my English paper piecing, and since I saw you last, I finished this flower. So this has got Belle on the inside, and there you go, you can kind of see it. It's pink glitter on the outside. So since I finished, oops, sorry Pinky. I was trying to put it on the coffee table because it's got pins in it, but Pinky is laying on the ottoman with my computer right next to the coffee table, and the edge of it just brushed her face. But I started its coordinating one. So here we go. So this one has the pink glitter on the inside, and then it'll have Belle on the outside. So that is my English paper piecing. And then the last thing on my needles, which makes this kind of a FlossTube because we're talking about cross stitch. So the pattern I'm stitching is my Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers. So I'm started right up here at the top. So far I have finished Family Visits, and then I have started on the turkey for turkey dressing. So I'm enjoying that. I got together with a group of stitchers who are local earlier this week, and we had a stitching night, and it was a lot of fun, and we're going to make it a regular thing. So I'm super excited about that. And that is everything that is currently on my needles, because I have several FOs for you. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Okay, so first I'm going to talk to you about the projects that I finished before Stash Dash ended. So first up was my 33rd Preemie Hat of the year, which is from my Top Down Preemie Hat pattern on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. You should get it, make some, donate it to charity. It's awesome. I just shipped out a parcel that was 15 ounces of hats.
Ooh, almost a pound.
Yeah, I didn't do it to a pound because then the price goes up to ship it. So I learned that the hard way. So I still have a bag. I have like this paper, I know, this is random. I have one of those paper bags that has the small ones that has like the handles on it up on top of my yarn cabinet. And every week after the podcast, we just throw the Preemie hats in there. So I was able to send almost all that's in there. I think there's maybe like 6 or so that I didn't put in to ship. So I'll just keep adding again until I get that to that size. So I know they're very, very grateful for that. Anyway, this one is on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is Karen Simply Soft in the Gray Heather colorway, and Patton's UK Fab DK variegated in the This Is Not Raspberry colorway. Should be Superman. I tell you all this every time I knit with it. One of these days I'm going to run out of it, and then you won't hear me say it again. So I finished that before Stash Dash ended. I finished, okay, now this has not been blocked because I cannot, it's still a secret from the Dr. Hubs, and I can't block it till Dammy goes to Pennsylvania, and I can block it on her bed without the Dr. Hubs seeing it. So this is what I took, the Tapestry Project pattern by Emily McNeil. I used US 7's 4.5mm needles. I used Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in Tranquil, Green Tea Heather, Peapod, Grass, Evergrade Heather, Cream Brulee, Semolina, Caution Orange, and Conch. Why did it put that there twice? It's weird. Okay, so here it is. So here, I just did guard. So what I did is, this is the temperature, the high temperature in Edinburgh for each day of the 365 days that ended on the day that Dr. Hubbs did his defended his dissertation. And I knit this for when he gets ordained, for it to be his stole that he wears with his robes. And I did a garter ridge for every day. So I don't know if this is the first day or the last day. I can't remember. But so there we go. So I just did regular garter stitch until right here towards the middle. And I had talked about that I didn't know how it was going to lay. And my friend Sally from Knitting Group suggested that I do rib for a few inches, and that'll help it lay more flat. Right there. Okay, so which side did I show them? I don't think I showed you this side. There is the one day of tranquil. That was the lowest high temperature of the year, that year. So it's mostly, you can see kind of these in the orange and coral family, and then in the greens family. So that is done. As once Dammy is gone on her trip, I will block this, and that way it will be ready and waiting. I don't want him to know about it until I surprise him with it. So, okay, what's next? Okay, I finished, these have not been blocked yet. I need to do that. I finished the Dr. Hubbs 22nd anniversary socks. So our 22nd anniversary is coming up next month. So these are the socks I knit for him. I used my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles. The main color is Patton's Croy sock in the blue striped rag colorway, and the toes, heels, and cuffs are Pandia's Jewels tweed, and I don't know what the colorway is. So those are finished. They need to be blocked. Okay, so that's where Stash Dash ended for me. Okay, y'all will remember that my main goal was to get to 10,000, which would be accomplished almost completely by finishing my 10-stitch zigzag blanket. So I did that. And then I set a stretch goal for 15,000, and I was so close. I ended up finishing 14,601.3 meters. So I would have needed 398.7 meters more to reach my stretch goal. However, my English paper piecing and my cross stitch did not count in that. So if I had not done those two things, I probably would have reached it. Mm-hmm. But I'm being multi-craftual, and I am very happy with how I ended. So there was that. Okay, and then I had one other finish after Stash Dash ended, my 34th preemie hat for the year. Again, all the same info, and this is Lion Brand Color Waves DK in the Acorn colorway. I felt like it needed to be fall. Because pumpkin. Have y'all had your pumpkin spice latte? Have you had the pumpkin cream cold brew? They're both amazing. I've already changed my watch to pumpkin, all the time. I had people sending me messages and texts and all kinds of stuff. Have you had your pumpkin spice latte? Have you seen this funny meme or video or whatever? Because I just threw the preemie hat on the floor. I love pumpkin spice. Like nobody's business. I also had a pumpkin scone.
Without me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We'll go have one together someday. Soon. That's everything I finished in the last 2 weeks. And the Big Sister hat, if I just need to do the pom-pom on, and that'll be done. So, okay, well, we have a lot of yummies to talk about, so let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, yummies. What are yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about. Bless you.
Yummies? Oh, I don't know. I got like some fuzz or something in my nose. Thought I was going to sneeze. Okay, Dammy, why don't you start?
Okay. Wow. So I'm having a back-to-school G-stash in our Ravelry group. If you're interested,
if you're interested about a spam call.
If you're interested in any of it, go look, because there's a thread. It's stickied in our Ravelry group, and just follow the instructions that are in the first post or in the description of the thread if you are interested in purchasing any of it. And I would really appreciate it.
It goes towards her tuition and books for school.
It does.
Okay. So sometime in the last 2 weeks, I made a sunflower wreath. You may have seen it on social media. But instead of getting it off of our front door where it currently is hanging, I'm putting this picture on the screen for you. So I actually used a tutorial that Priscilla and Chelsea of the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch did. And they did it with tulips. And I was like, that's really cool. I don't want a tulip wreath. Okay, we're trying this again because somebody knocked on the door. I'll show you what they brought in just a minute. So anyway, I can't remember what I told you. Tulip wreath tutorial. I did it with sunflowers and autumnal leaves. It was very easy to do. You don't cut the flowers or the leaves off of the stems. Like you just take them in the bunch that you buy from the store and kind of fan them out. And you use floral wire to just go around, around, around. And I made it and I love it so much. I'm looking at the picture of it over here on our Mac Mini where I edit the podcast. It's like right there because I just airdropped it over there. I love it. I love it. And I did it on one of those, what is it? What are those wreaths called? Like they're wood,
I don't know.
you guys know what I'm talking about? Anyway, we had another wreath hanging on our door that was like, had seen far better days. So I took everything off of it and saved it. Grapevine. It's a grapevine wreath. It's a smaller one than I did used for the sunflower wreath. But I'm going to use a smaller one and do a Christmas wreath. I don't know, maybe...
Poinsettias. That's
Yeah.
what you said.
Yeah, I think poinsettias, maybe. I'll have to go look and see.
As long as Pink doesn't eat them.
They're artificial. I'm going to use artificial ones. So, I'm very excited to have done that. I really am so in love with it. One of my loves, besides Pink and Pink Pearl and Russ and Dammy and Pumpkin, is sunflowers. Okay. You may notice that there's something new hanging on our wall here.
Wow! Why is it there?
Because it is a print of Edinburgh. So up here at the top, I know it's hard to see, but they're good grief. Will people stop calling me?
We're having a fun day.
Spam calls. Spam calls. And we're on the do not call list, y'all. There's a map, it doesn't have like street names or anything, but it's just like the map of Edinburgh, and then down here is the bridge and
Skyline.
Yeah, just kind of a skyline of it. It came from the Etsy shop Art Prince Vicky. We will link that in the show notes if you want to get your own. I assume she has other ones, other cities.
Yes,
so,
other major cities.
Okay, so you should check it out. So that's on our wall. Dammy got a bigger one to put in her dorm room.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's almost exactly the same as that. So.
Okay, I'm actually going to move around something to talk about this. So I ordered some stickers from Redbubble. Dammy bought me this one, and I forgot about it until I'd already done an order. So I'm going to give this one to the Dr. Hubs. It's another skyline of Edinburgh. It's a heart. And then I got a couple of Hadestown stickers. So here is my favorite, Patrick Page. And Let the World We Dream About Be the One We Live In Now on the beautiful red flower. And then the fourth one I ordered, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. Or a lot, maybe. I had a lot of choice words this morning. So let me tell you what this is while I'm holding it, and I'll just move it around on the show notes. So, and I know this is not of an interest to everyone, but just in case you're interested, I have embarked on a project to handwrite the Bible. And my challenge is just to write one verse a day. If I want to and have more time to write more, that's fine. But as long as I write at least one verse a day, that's awesome. So I had bought this is like probably 8.5 by 11, really thick notebook. Of course it's pink, but it just said journal across the front, so I bought the sticker to put on it. But I started with the book of Matthew, and I'm writing from the Message version. And so I have written up through chapter 7 of Matthew. So I'm still just very much getting started with it. If you're interested in following me on that, I started a separate Instagram, and I'll link it in the show notes, but it's handwriting the Bible _ Cece. And I'm not the only one, it turns out, that is writing the Bible. I'm accountability partners with a couple of friends from Knitting Group who are doing a modified version of it. There are some others that have said that they started it or are starting it. There's one lovely lady who's handwriting it not only in English, but in Scottish Gaelic, and it's amazing. So that's just a fun project that I'm doing. Okay, now what did I do with it? There it is. I have too much stuff over here. So, you guys know I love my Starbucks drinks, and I especially like cold brews, but they sweat a lot. So, I bought this beautiful Belle cozy. It's got polka dots inside, and it's got elastic, so if you want to put it on a Trenta, or it fits well on a Venti, but it's got like words to the song behind her. And I got this from, I'll link it in the show notes, but it's called Princess and Main, M-A-I-N, on Etsy. And it came with, oh wait, there it is on the bottom. Princess and Main. It came with really good instructions about cleaning it and everything. So I just keep this tucked in my purse and pull it out and put it on the drink when I'm drinking. Let me show you what came in what just was delivered to the house moments ago. So I had talked about at some point in the last couple months or so about this embroidery project that I had. It was a kit that I had bought at Joann's. It was on sale. It was on a big sale. And I started it, and I just didn't enjoy it. I love my counted cross stitch, but I was having trouble figuring out where I needed to put the needle to make it work on this printed piece. So I said, if anybody out there does embroidery and would like to do this for me, I would love it. And Julia, who is, how do you say her? Geeky on Ravelry, reached out and offered to finish it for me. I sent it to her along with some goodies and lovely stuff to say thank you, and it just arrived back. So, live simply with the flower pot all full. And she even finished it for me. So what I think I'm going to do is I bought some ribbon when I was at Joann's again last time. I think I might just make a bow and put it down here so it doesn't block anything, and hang it up on my wall. I love it. Live simply. So thank you so much, Julia. I'll send you a message as well if you see this before whatever, or I will send you a message. But literally, that just came to our door just a couple minutes ago. Okay, we got the newest. This is not working. I will put this in the bigger bag. I can't get it to fit in the small one. Sorry for the crinkling. I just don't want to poke myself with a needle. The new Knit Crate box came to us. Full disclosure, they send us this for free every month so that we can talk to you about it on the podcast. Sometimes we keep the stuff. Sometimes we put it in the prize bucket to give to y'all. So these are stickers.
Stickers, yes. I'd like a knitting sticker.
There's 2 of them, so we can each have one.
I'll put one on my computer if I can find room.
Yes. Okay, so this time we got 2 skeins of Knitology worsted merino. It's 100% superwash merino wool, worsted weight, 218 yards, 199 meters, 100 grams in the Kestrel colorway. So it's this, of course, it's not, the blues and purples never show up right on the screen. It's darker than it's showing. So it's these blues and purples with this kind of rust. And then in the little booklet that they send us, so this month's inspiration was take wing, so birds.
Bored.
So these are some of the other yarns that were possibilities. Okay. Ooh, that's beautiful, that European robin. Okay, so
let Pink see the yarn. She might go after it.
she might. Okay, so here's the patterns. So we have crocheted alpine leg warmers. by Ashley Connesney.
Connect me.
Okay. We have a Crochet Birds of a Feather Socks by Abby Swanson.
Haha, this one.
We have Knit Plumage Socks by Kim Driggs. And we have Knit
Eglutna Lakeside Shawl by Miri Dickerson.
Yeah. So 4 lovely patterns. Oh well, I will not be knitting this because it's on a US 10 6mm needle, and that hurts my hands.
That's chunky.
That is very chunky. So, so they have like, you know, all kinds of pictures and information about the things. And then next month's theme is Prism.
Ooh.
I have a feeling that whatever yarn they send, I will really like.
Yeah.
Because I venture to guess it's going to be...
There's lots of pink.
It's going to be probably in the pink family. So, if you would like to get your own Knit Crate box every month, you can go to the link in our show notes, and you can use the coupon code, all capital letters, Geeky, Geeky, and the number's 20, Geeky20. For 20% off your first order. It will work to discount the first month of a recurring monthly subscription and on any of the shop items. And all that information is in the show notes for you. Okay. Yummy. I think that is everything. Do you have anything else before our other stuff?
No. This section is already really long.
Holy cow. I told y'all it was going to be a longer episode. Okay. Well, then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. I haven't done this in 2 weeks. We've got a list of the photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. So we're finishing up August, obviously, and celebrating our 7th Podiversary here
Times.
at the end of the month. And then we released the September list, which is all about autumn and things like that. Just a reminder for y'all, if you don't realize, because I realize that sometimes the graphic with the prompts is harder to read. If you go to our show notes, geekygirlsknit.com, and look for the post for the September Geeky Girls Knit Photo a Day Challenge, on there is a link that you can go to see the Google Calendar, where we add all the prompts for every day of the month on there, and you can even subscribe to that to have it put onto your own Google Calendar. So just throwing that out there in case that's something that would be helpful to you. Yeah. So what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other
Not
people.
5 photos.
7 photos
8.
from other people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
8 photos from other people that we like.
Sure.
Here come the photos. Those are our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You just take a look at the prompt for the day. Today's prompt when we're recording this is celebrate. We need to take a picture.
Yeah.
We will do that. You post it on, you interpret that prompt however you want. We are very cheater friendly on that. You take your picture, post it on Instagram. Make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGK Crafty Pad, and yours might get chosen. If you have a private Instagram account and you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you, because otherwise we can't see your photos. So just send her a message and she'll follow you, and it'll be all good. Okay. Upcoming events.
We'll talk about the first one.
Yeah, so the Fall Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl is the first weekend in October. However, I won't be participating in the Fall Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl.
Oh. I
Because
see the problem now.
the Dr. Hubs and I are going to
Are going to abandon our cat.
Vancouver, BC for Knit City.
Wow.
So it's going to be a fast, crazy trip. We're leaving super early on the Saturday morning, which is, I think, the 5th. It's my birthday weekend. The 4th is my birthday. So this is kind of our anniversary, because our anniversary is on the 20th, and then 2 weeks later on the 4th October is my birthday. So it's kind of a combination trip. So we'll leave super early on Saturday. We'll do Knit City on Saturday after we get to Vancouver. We're staying the night. I booked an Airbnb yesterday. And then on Sunday, we're going to do some touristy stuff, unless there's just something I need to do to go back to Knit City for. And then drive home late Sunday night. It's going to be a fast and furious trip. Isn't that a movie?
Yes. Fast and Furious. 7 or 8 movies.
Oh, wow. Well, that's going to be us, Fast and Furious. So, if you're going to Knit City, let me know, because I would love to meet up with you. I know that my friend Diane from Suburban Stitcher is going, so I'm going to finally get to meet her in person. And I know there'll be lots of other amazing people there, so if you're going, let me know. I would love to meet up with you. I don't know if the Dr. Hubs will come to Knit City, or if he'll kind of do some stuff on his own. We shall see. I'm coming more for the experience versus shopping. I'm sure I'll buy some stuff, but I'm not going in with a list of I want to buy yarn for this. Mm-hmm. So it'll probably be more souvenir something versus I've got a project in mind. Okay, October is going to be mad, y'all. This is crazy. First weekend, we're going to Knit City. If you're not going to Knit City and you're local, you should do the Fall Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl. Second weekend is Dammy's 20th birthday. How am I old enough to have a 20-year-old? How are you old enough to be 20?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Third weekend of October is Fiber Fusion Northwest at Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, Washington. The Dr. Hubs and I are going to pop over there on the Saturday to meet my friend Ann Tudor, who has done so many glass stitch markers for us and for kits and such, for book releases, and we have never met in person, and she's going to be there, and so I'm going over to meet her. Then the fourth weekend in October is the Seattle Cat Convention, Meow Con, SEA, Seattle, meow like a cat, convention, in Seattle, fourth weekend. And then a couple weeks later, on Saturday, the 9th of November, I'm going to a one-day knitting retreat hosted by Allen Yarn Shop, and it's completely full. It's booked. So, but I'll be excited to do that. Okay, I think that's everything. And Dammy will be back in school. But she'll be coming over while the Dr. Hubs and I go to Vancouver. She's coming to be with her cat. Yep. And, oh, I should say that. Thank you so much again to everyone who has reached out to check on Pinky and who bought patterns and books during Pinky's sale. She has not had a seizure
in a while.
23 days. So the medicine is working. She is still getting pretty sleepy when we give it to her, but it's getting better. She's not quite as out of it. She was like a drunk little kitty the first week and a half, probably. So she's doing great. You'll see her in a few minutes. We'll bring her on here to talk to you. So she may not want to talk, but we'll show you her at least. So, okay, let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
What are you reading, Dammy?
So I am now reading The Secret Diaries of Miss Anne Lister, and I didn't realize it would be in like several volumes because there wasn't a subtitle. So I think the one I have right now is 1824 to 1826.
Oh, okay.
And it's still that large.
Yeah, it's
So.
big. So does it show some of her secret language in it?
Yeah.
But it interprets it.
Yes.
It translates it. What did I do to your sock, Dammy? Okay, there we go.
Please, my sock. So, yeah, and I'm reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
And I assume you're getting your 15 minutes a day in?
Yes.
What am I referring to?
The July, August, September RAL read-along.
So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. So we have the July, August, September seasonal RAL, and there's a finish line in the Ravelry group with all the details. All the details are in our show notes as well. And in addition, we're doing a year-long challenge where you earn entries into 3 grand prize giveaways by completing the seasonal alongs. Check everything out in our show notes and in the Ravelry group.
Ah, what are you reading?
Okay, I have a whole list here. I finished reading Hello Mornings, How to Build a Grace-Filled, Life-Giving Morning Routine by Kat Lee. That is actually what inspired me to start handwriting the Bible. I read So You Want to Talk About Race by
Ioma Aluo.
and I finished that one, and it was my phone. I got a text and it vibrated against my empty water bottle, and it made it sound like the roof was falling down. Hopefully you couldn't hear that. It was a really, really interesting book. Gave me lots of things to think about as I read it. I finished rereading Liturgy of the Ordinary, Sacred Practices in Everyday Life by Tish Harrison Warren. What are you laughing at?
I just saw her ears go flick, flick, like one after the other.
I reread that for a book discussion group that we were having at church. I finished reading Chase Darkness with Me, How One True Crime Writer Started Solving Murders by Billy Jensen. It was a very interesting book. It had previously only been available as an audiobook. And then the physical book came out. I got it from the library. And Billy Jensen, along with a retired police detective, I don't know what his rank was or whatever, but Paul Holes is his name. They do a podcast together called The Murder Squad. And it is cases, they talk about like cases that either it's not been solved or, for example, the one that I listened to this week, the person who had done the murders confessed, but there's other murders that they think that person did that the person is not confessing to. And so it's like crowdsourcing to try to solve these things. There's rules that you have to abide by and such, but if that is something that is in your interest wheelhouse, you should check it out if you haven't already. It is part of the Exactly Right network that Karen Kilgareth and Georgia Harsh start from My Favorite Murder that they do. So I'm currently reading Glorious Sweetness, Discovering God in All We Lack by Aliyah Joy. It is so good. I'm very much enjoying it. I am continuing to reread the 4th book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I'm rereading that with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. Finally, we finished the 3rd task chapter. Swish and Flick had divided it into 2 episodes, and plus they had some episodes that were not following the book chapters. So we're finally finished with that. So we're ready to move on to the next chapter. We're getting close to the end of that book. I am continuing to reread The Fiery Cross, which is the 5th book in the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. They announced today when season 5 is coming back. Oh, look. My sweet friend, that's what the text was. Mary. She just texted me to tell me that season 5 will be premiering on February the 16th. So,
Wow.
there you go. So I will be doing a design with Julia from Pandia's Jewels yarn. This will be my 5th Outlander inspired pattern. I've done one for every season of the TV show. TV show is not safe for children. Books are not safe for children. Just letting you know. I think I'm doing another sock pattern. So the very first one I did for Outlander was a sock, and then I've done a cowl. I've done a wrap, and I've done a shawl. So I think we're going to go back and do another sock pattern. I'm also reading The Island of Sea Women by Lisa C., which was recommended to me by Mary, who just texted me. I'm almost done with it. I've only got just probably, I don't know, just a little bit left to finish it. It's really interesting. It's fiction, but it's inspired by real events. So I finished reading Stolen Things by Rachel Herron. Holy crap. Thriller, edge of your seat. It was so good. And Rachel is a knitter. She's written several books. She's written some fiction books that involve knitting. I know she's written at least one nonfiction book about knitting. And this is kind of in her new thing. But it really, a lot of it was inspired by her time being a 911 dispatcher. So that is woven into this story as well. And then I'm also reading A Princess in Theory, Reluctant Royals, book number 1 by Alyssa Cole. It has some adult content. I wouldn't put it to say that it's got as much as Outlander, but it does have some adult content. I was reading last night, and all of a sudden there was a little bit more than I was expecting. But it's kind of a modern day take on the Cinderella story. Okay, that's everything we're reading. Let me see here. Let's talk about what we're watching. I did watch a couple of Hallmark movies. I watched A Summer Romance and Aurora Teagarden Mysteries, A Very Foul Play. I've got a couple other Hallmark movies to watch. I just ran out of time, so I will watch them this week. I finished season 1 of Lost in Space, the remake. I watched the entire series of Unspeakable, which was so interesting. It came from out of Canada, and it was a mini series about people with hemophilia who ended up getting HIV and AIDS because of blood transfusions. And so it was based on the true story, but there was some things changed, just for dramatic effect or to protect people or whatever. But from watching it, apparently there was a lot of stuff that was not done that should have been done that could have helped protect people. It was really, really interesting. And I kind of laughed too because like every Canadian actor that you could probably think of was in it. So, I watched all of Agatha Christie's Ordeal by Innocence. I watched seasons 1 and 2 of Absentia. Is that how you say it? Absentia?
Yeah.
It had, what's her name from Castle in it?
Sana Katik.
Yes. It has gone unexpected ways. It's another one of those suspense, thriller, mystery, procedural type shows. And I started watching Agatha Raisin, which is a BBC cozy mystery series. I watched all of series 1, and I'm currently watching series 2. Do you want to talk about the next thing?
We finished series 1 of Gentleman Jack. It was very good. It was aired on HBO, so some mature content. But yeah, there's going to be a series 2 sometime next year.
I love the music. What's his name?
Murray Gold.
Murray Gold. He wrote some of the music for Doctor Who.
You said this same exact thing 2 weeks ago.
I've tried to sleep since then. Okay. We are watching Father Brown. We finished series 2 and we're watching series 3.
We watched the series finale, season 7 of Elementary. I think it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. I just felt a little let down at the end. But it was very good. And it was a good ending to a really good show. Okay, I'm watching Instinct Season 2, and I meant to look this up. I heard somewhere that they decided not to air the final 2 episodes of the show. Let me just check on that for you. It was not renewed for a 3rd season, which I'm not happy about. Let's see, episodes. Yeah, I think they decided not to finish it out. CBS, thank you very much. Not. Yeah. So I'm disappointed about that. It was a really, really good show. I'm hoping that they might at some point air the other 2 episodes or make them available via streaming or something like that. I watched the season 5 finale of Good Witch, and so that means the kids graduated high school and they're going off to college, so things will be pretty different when it returns for season 6 because the kids are not going to be around, and they've been around since the beginning. So, yeah. I started watching season 4 of Chesapeake Shores, and I watched 1 episode of series 5 of Poldark. I have another episode ready to watch. So, and that's coming up to its finale very soon. Series finale. It wasn't renewed for another season. So, and then listening to, of course, my favorite murder podcast. That has been one of the positive things out of a very, very crappy day that I got to listen to that today. Hadestown OBCR, that's another thing, because I was like, when I was so stressed out, I had it playing fairly loud, and it just made my mood maybe a little better. I didn't kill anyone. What are you listening to?
Cabin Pressure and the My Fair Lady revival recording.
Cool. All right, I think that is everything, so we should probably move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our June, July, August.
Summertime and the living is easy.
Al.
Actually, Dammy, because this ends on Saturday.
Yes!
Because you're going to have to talk about the autumn one in a second.
Oh.
So this Al is actually ending on Saturday. So if you're watching this the day it goes live, you need to get your projects posted by tomorrow. We've got all these prizes that are on the screen right now. Thank you to all of our prize donors. You can go to the show notes, geekygirls.com, to see closer pictures, links, all that. And we will announce all the prize winners next week. But Dammy, why don't you give shout outs to everyone who's finished projects these last couple of weeks?
Okay. So we have A. Bingham, Artsy Reeby, Asteroid, D. Dorf 4, DG White, DJID, I Now Hour, Felipa MC, Frymeister, I Knit Socks 2, Jamie BB 1975, Jodidiah, Jody 333, Carlene Page, Knit Central, Lil Angel SG2, El McCall, Lil Mermaid, Mama Mia 64, Mystery Sower, Nicole S, Original Sin, Phoenix Fire, Psycho Hulakian, Restrauss, Share 2014, Shirley Knits 123, Silver Luna 2112, VT Kimmy Kim, Wolf Joy, and Yellcat 2.
Great job, everybody. Get those projects finished and posted, and we will announce the prize winners next week.
And now we're going to talk about our September, October, November Artistic Autumnal Al.
All right, tell us all about it.
So this salon begins on the 1st of September and it runs through the 30th of November and is for any project that you can knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to autumn.
How did they do that?
By the project's color, colorway name, pattern name, purpose, design element, or if you can't think of anything, you made it in the autumn.
Even if you're in the other hemisphere, it still counts.
So there are a couple main rules for this owl. No whips are allowed, so your project has to have been begun by no earlier than the 1st of September, then finished no later than the 30th of November. And each project of at least 20 yards that you finish and post in the FO thread counts as one entry, but if your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. You can feel free to polydip in other knit-alongs or alongs, as long as it fits in with the rules, that's totally fine. We have lots of lovely prizes on the screen, but we also need to talk about them, so...
Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. First up, we have stitch marker sets made and donated by Julia, who is Nimrus of Pandia's Jewels. We have 3 Labyrinth sets, 1 Frankenstein, and 1 Bride of Frankenstein. 5 winners will each win 1 random set.
Wow. And then we have an orange camper bag by Art by Anna that was donated by Rhonda, who is dueling needles.
We have a Soonish Walker sock blank in a one-of-a-kind colorway donated by Eileen, who is leaner.
Then we have 2 skeins of Moda D Sassy Stripes DK in the polo colorway that were donated by Trisha, who is PAZ Scott.
And those will be given away to one person because they're 50-gram skeins.
Yep. So thank you to our prize donors. If you'd like to see closer photos of these prizes or see where they came from, you can go to our show notes, geekygirlsknit.com, or tune in to next week where I'll have to talk about them again.
And if anybody would like to donate a prize.
I was about to go to that. You were supposed to go, ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha.
If you are interested in donating a prize, you can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com.
Yes.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you want to tag your projects or post on social media. It's GGK Autumn 19. The FO thread is going to be locked on the morning of the 1st of December, and then winners will be drawn and announced for the next podcast after that. And any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize where they forfeit it. And we've got a chatter thread open where you guys can start discussing what projects you think you might want to do.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, I think we are ready to move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Okay, Dami, why don't you ask the whole question and then...
We should have, split this up by person.
It's alright. Why don't you ask the whole question and then we're going to cut to the Dr. Hubs answering the 2-part question, and then we'll come back and Dami and I will answer it.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
So, this question is from Denise, who is Fuzzy Kitch from Michigan. CC Dami, Dr. Hubs. I am a super bibliophile. I love books, the feel, the smell, even the taste. I do read books on an e-reader as well and listen, but there is nothing compared to a paper-paged book. So I'm asking this question. If you could only recommend 5 books to someone, what would they be? I'm willing to give one of those slots to a series of books. You had 2 series.
No, I don't.
Fine.
I have series for the second part.
Fine. But I want you to push yourselves and really think about this. Also, what are books you like to revisit? I revisit the Harry Potter series often and considering the Narnia series again.
Alright, let's cut here. Dr. Hubs will answer the question and then we'll be back. Okay, so Denise asked questions.
I'm doing an intro.
Oh, sorry.
Tell me when to go.
Whenever you want to go.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this installment of Ask the Geeky Girls. I am not a geeky girl. I'm the Dr. Hubs.
Are you
Is there
ready?
a question for
Yes, there's
today's segment?
There's 2 questions for you
2 questions.
from Denise, who is Fuzzy Kid on Ravelry.
I will try to be up to 2 questions.
Okay, first question. If you could recommend only 5 books to someone, what would they be?
Only 5 books.
Only 5 books.
Only 5.
You guys, he didn't prepare for this at all.
Do you know how large my library is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I had to limit myself. So, I limited myself to what I have on my bookshelves.
Versus what you have on your Kindle?
On my Kindle and on my computer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these are physical books that you have?
These are physical books.
Okay.
And I limited myself to books that aren't overly academic,
Okay.
except for on the second question.
Okay. But you don't know what the second question is yet?
No, I don't know what the
No.
second question is.
Not
Okay.
at all. Okay, so what are your 5 books?
So, these 5 books are all books that I'm fairly certain that everyone listening could get and read themselves and understand.
Okay.
Okay? So the first one is this one, Lament for a Son by Nicholas Wolterstorff.
Will you hold it closer in case people want to see the name spelled out?
Okay.
I'll put it in the show notes as well.
All right. So Wolterstorff is an academic philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
However, he lost his 21-year-old son to a mountain climbing accident. And so this book is not really an academic book on philosophy or theology. It is a series of reflections of basically conversation between him and God, and as he worked through his grief, dealing with the loss of his son. And so this book has had a tremendous impact on me and the way I approach the discipline of theology. So,
Yep, it's a good one. I've read it as well.
mm-hmm. So next is Todd Hunter, and this one's called The Accidental Anglican.
I've read this one too.
So this is actually the UK cover. If you buy it on Amazon here in the US, the cover is going to look different.
That's okay. We have worldwide viewers.
Okay, so and it's the UK cover because I bought this while we were in Scotland. And so Todd Hunter used to be with the Vineyard Church,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually held the top spot. I don't know if they call it in the Vineyard.
The Big Pumbaa.
Sure.
What TV show is that from?
He was the Big Pumbaa. I think you're thinking of Happy Days.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And so, but Todd Hunter, he went from being the top guy in the Vineyard Church to being a bishop in the Anglican Church in North America, and this book is his sort of documents his journey and how he made that journey from being Vineyard to Anglican.
And it was accidental.
Yes. Yeah, perhaps a better word might be unexpected.
Okay.
But, okay. So, and it's called The Surprising Pill of the Liturgical Church.
Yep, I'll link it in the show notes.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this relates to us because we were Baptist once and are now Anglican ourselves.
Yes.
So this next one is by Scott McKnight. He teaches at Northern Seminary, I believe.
Where's that at?
It's in Chicago, basically.
Have I read this one?
I don't know if you read this one or not.
I don't think I've read this one.
So this is called the King Jesus Gospel.
The original Good News Revisited. The revised edition.
And so the title gives it away. It focuses on Jesus as King and how that relates to the gospel. So if you've always thought that the gospel shouldn't be just individual getting your fire insurance and soul into heaven, Scott covers that. So this is a more holistic gospel and one that relates to Jesus being king over everything.
Yes.
Okay. Now this is probably the most academic one that I have on the list,
I don't think I've read this one either.
but I had to include it. So I'm a PhD theologian, so I have to include some sort of a systematic theology book. Okay, but this is by Beth Felker Jones. She teaches at Wheaton College in Chicago, Illinois.
60652?
I don't know if that's a zip code or not.
It's Scruff McGruff's zip code.
Yes, it is. But Beth Jones is one of my favorite theologians. And
Sorry, y'all. I didn't get the tripod out. I'm just holding the camera. I'm trying to hold it steady.
and there are other much thicker theology textbooks that I could give you to read, but this one's written in a very accessible style with accessible language, and she is a world-class theologian, and so it's called Practicing Christian Doctrine, an Introduction to Thinking and Living Theologically.
I've read some of her stuff, but I don't think I've read that book. I've read like articles and such by her.
And so I consider this to be one of the top, if not the top, introductory theology book that's out there right now.
Okay, and what's number 5?
And the number 5 is another one of my favorites. So this is by Christine Pohl, and she's another one of my favorite theologians. I cannot recall where she teaches right now. So she has another book called Making Room: Recovering Hospitality in the Christian Tradition.
I think I've read that one, but I don't think I've read this one.
Well, it's a thicker book and it's more academic, so I'm not sure.
Maybe, did we need it for a class in seminary?
We might have, I'm not sure.
That was a long time ago.
So this one is very accessible, however, and it's called Living into Community, Cultivating Practices That Sustain Us. And it's very good. And so she has 4 practices. They are embracing gratitude, making and keeping promises, living truthfully, and practicing hospitality. Those are her four practices for sustainable community. Okay.
The second question that you don't know about at all.
No, I don't know about it.
Are there books that you revisit?
Yes.
What are they?
There are books that I revisit.
What are your top 2 that you revisit? Because maybe there's 2 books sitting here in this stack.
There might be 2 books.
I don't know. So what are they?
Okay, so these 2 books, and I will apologize for my audience, these 2 books are admittedly academic books. Okay?
I'm surprised you don't have one of Dan's books.
I was trying to limit myself.
Oh, we'll give you a bonus book, but it's in the other room.
Yeah, I would have to go get it.
Dan was one of our seminary professors, Dan Stiver.
So, the first one is this. Rediscovering the Triune God, the Trinity in Contemporary Theology.
Oh,
hello.
Pink would like to answer the question, what books do you revisit?
Hi, Pink. Your breath smells like fish.
It is like almost 10 o'clock at night, and we're recording this after knitting group because the Dr. Hubs will be at work tomorrow when we record, So,
the reason why I got this book is because this was a major book in my dissertation. And so I've read it many, many times. And because this book had a profound impact on my own journey to a more Trinitarian faith and theology. And so I admit that I'm kind of weird that academic theology books helped me in my own spiritual journey.
Yep. And what's the other one?
And so the other one is by Paul Ricoeur. And so this is another major book in my dissertation, and it's called Oneself as Another, and it is pretty dense philosophy.
So it's by Paul Ricoeur.
By Paul Ricoeur.
You didn't say that at the first.
Okay. Oneself as Another, and so I will admit it's pretty dense philosophy, but this is all basically it's about how we receive our identity from others in relationship to others, and that.
And what is Dan Stiver's book that you revisit often?
Oh, well, he has 2. One is called Theology After Ricoeur, and the other one is called Ricoeur in Theology.
The Dr. Hub has used Ricoeur a lot in his dissertation. In fact, what was the name of your dissertation?
The Triune God and the Hermeneutics of Community, Church Gender and Mission in Stanley J. Grins, with special reference to Paul Ricoeur.
So thusly, that's why he rereads these books, because they were part of his dissertation.
It's very dissertation-y title.
It was a very dissertation-y title. I read the whole thing. Yep. Okay, you have anything else to say? Do you know what we're celebrating in this podcast?
I should.
Our 7th Podiversary.
Yeah, 7th Podiversary.
We've been recording for 7 years.
Wow.
I think we missed 4.
4 years?
4 episodes, 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Dammy was 12 when we started.
Yes.
I'm sure I've said this now, because we're going back in time to put this into the podcast. So I'm sure I've said this already.
You should include some clips from earlier episodes.
Oh, Dammy would not go for that.
Oh.
But don't worry, we're going to have cake.
Oh, honey.
All right. Anything else you would like to say?
I think I'm done.
All right. Thank you for coming on and answering, and thank you, Denise, for the question.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. All right, so now we're back. Okay, Dammy,
Oh, why do I have to start?
because yours are listed before mine. Okay, so if you could only recommend 5 books to someone, what would they be? You can give one of those to be a series if you wanted.
One of them is in the series.
Okay.
So I have The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, Emma by Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, and Les Miserables by Victor Hugo.
And what about books that you revisit?
I revisit those.
She does. Okay, for me, it was really hard because there are so many series that
You read so many books.
I do, but there are just so many series that I just really resonate with and really love. But the 5 that I chose were Jesus Feminist by Sarah Bessey. She has a brand new book coming out October the 8th that I am so freaking excited to read. I pre-ordered it as soon as she announced it. I cannot wait. It may beat out Jesus Feminist on my top 5 list. 1,000 Gifts by Anne Voskamp. Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. The rest of the series is really good too. The Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon, Not Safe for Children. And I had a really hard time choosing one, but The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. All of her books are really good. That one was probably my favorite out of them. And then books that I like to revisit: Anne of Green Gables series, Outlander series, Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, and A Discovery of Witches series by Deborah Harkness.
It's called the All Souls Trilogy.
Oh, it is, except for it's not going to be a trilogy.
Then Amazon lies.
Just like Aragon. No, it just recently was announced. Hold on, let me...
You don't have to go look it up.
I just want to make sure I'm telling you the truth. All...
Because he talks for like 15 minutes about his books.
He did. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know where to look.
No, do followed by, then you followed by.
I don't know if it's like up yet though, like the 4th one. Oops. No. I remember reading it or hearing it somewhere, unless it was just in my dream and I thought it was the truth. Souls trilogy. Deborah Harkness's website. Let's see if it tells us anything. I feel like I saw it on social media, but I could be wrong. No, here it is. Times Convert.
Ooh.
I believe that's going to be the 4th one. Or is it already out? You guys, I could be totally wrong about all of this. If I am, I'm sure somebody will tell me. Oh, okay, no, this was like, in that same world, but a different thing, I guess. So let's see if it says anything on her Amazon page. No. You guys, I don't know. I thought I read that there was going to be a 4th one, but, you know, we know how wrong I can be about things. I was trying to see if I look. I think Tom's Convert is what I was thinking of. Okay, well, the TV show is really good too. They're filming season 2. So, yeah. I love books. I read a lot. Y'all know that. I talk about books a lot. We all read. We all really love to read, which is something that makes me really happy that that the Dr. Hubs and I fostered an environment that made Danny want to read as well.
There's going to be this in the universe.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. The Serpent's Mirror. Diana and Matthew are the 2 main characters.
I don't know. RisingShadow.net has it.
In 2020, it said.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what I was thinking of. So thank you so much, Denise, for the question. Hope we answered it to all you were hoping for. There are links in the show notes to every single book that we mentioned. So you should check it out. Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Geeky...
It's like you haven't done this for 2 weeks.
What do? They go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. Okay. And we answer them in order unless there's a time sensitive. And there's not been a single one in 7 years that we've not been willing to answer. All right. Let's move on to the next segment. Okay. If we haven't mentioned it 57 times already, this is our 7th Podiversary episode. We have been recording this podcast for 7 years. I think we've missed 4 weeks out of 7 years. Dammy was 12 when we started, and she's about to turn 20.
You keep saying that.
Craziness. So, we wanted to do an epic giveaway for y'all. So since 7 Podiversary times 2 is 14, we're doing 14 giveaways. Okay, here's how you're going to enter. You're going to go to our Ravelry group. You're going to find the 7th Podiversary giveaway thread. In that thread, you're going to tell us one or all of these 3 things about the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. Your favorite episode title, your favorite episode, or your favorite podcast moment.
She's going to fall off the ottoman.
We are going to leave this giveaway open only 1 week. So when we record episode 360 next week, we are going to close the giveaway thread and draw for prize winners. You must be a member of our Ravelry group to participate. You'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you're a winner or you forfeit it. And we're willing to ship anywhere. So, here are the 7 prizes. This is the 14 prizes, sorry. First up, we have an Elva Swan a Cookie glass stitch marker set by Ann Tudor. They can also be worn as earrings.
Mm-hmm.
And a Listen to Your Body sticker from Yuko of Honeyberry Studios. That is one prize. I'm just putting all these back in here as we go. 3 winners are each going to pick any one of our ebooks. 2 winners are going to pick any 3 of our single patterns. Okay, then we have 4 winners who are going to win sets of a Listen to Your Body sticker, the Illuminati cork label set, a set of Star Trek stickers. I think one of them is Spock and the rest of them are Kirk, and a pumpkin sheet pen. So that'll be 4 winners. You'll each win a random set.
Why did you get all 4 of them all separated?
I don't know, because I just was trying to make sure we had everything. Okay, next up, 2 winners are each going to win a skein of Vidalania Aloft Tiger Lily yarn. It's 48% merino wool, 20% baby alpaca, 32% organic cotton, DK weight, 270 yards, 250 meters, 100 grams, as well as a Listen to Your Body sticker from Yuko of Honeyberry Studios. Could you tell that we had a lot of stuff that Yuko sent to us? So 2 winners are each going to win 1. Okay, and then the final 2 winners are going to win from Honeyberry Studios a Forgive Yourself for the Mistakes You've Made 8x10 print.
Cherry.
A journal notebook.
With leaves.
1 of 2 cards and 1 of 2 stickers.
Yay.
So, that's our 14 prizes. So, there's the...
Look at the cat. Look how dejected she looks.
Silly baby. So, there is the stitch marker set and sticker from Ann Tudor and Yuko. There's the 3 ebooks. There's 2 winners with any 3 of our single patterns. There is the 4 sets of Pandia's Jewels Pumpkin Spice Sheet Pen, Star Trek sticker set, Illuminati Cork Label set, and a Honeyberry Studio Listen to Your Body sticker. There are 2 people who are going to win a skein of the Vidlania yarn and a Listen to Your Body sticker from Yuko, Honeyberry Studios. And 2 winners are each going to win a print of Honeyberry Studios, a greeting card, a notebook, and a sticker. So, to enter, go again to our Ravelry group. Tell us your one of these things, your favorite episode title. And if you go to our show notes, geekygirlsnet.com, there is a tab that I think it's like episode list. And if you click on that, you can go to, I've separated it by year. And it's a page of every episode title for that year. And if you click on it, it takes you to the show notes. Your favorite episode and or your favorite podcast moment. We're so excited that we get to share this with y'all. I mean, without y'all, we wouldn't have a podcast. So no matter if this is your very first episode to watch, or you've been watching us for 6 months or a year or 3 years or 5 years or all the way since the beginning, or you watched the entire back catalog, because I know some of you did. We're grateful for each of you. We love you. And we thank you for supporting us and letting us share our crafty journey with y'all. You are part of our journey. You are part of our community. And we love you a lot. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Dammy, I don't know how long this episode actually going to end up being when I edit it, but I think we've been recording on and off for like almost 2 hours. Okay. Thank you for sticking with us. I know the episode won't be 2 hours long because there was breaks and such, but we did want to tell you that we got the brand new issue of Pom Pom Quarterly. I wanted to show them the side. Autumn 2019, issue number 30. Here's the back cover, which is all the designers. We will be reviewing this next week. We knew we already had a really full episode this week, so we decided to wait till next week. I haven't looked all the way through it yet, even. So, I've seen the previews, but...
See Brian Pickles.
Interesting. That's the recipe for this time. So, we will review that for y'all next week. Do we have any announcements? We're recording, as usual, knock on wood, somewhere, next week. So, do you have anything else you need to tell them?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
check out my D-Stash in the Ravelry group.
That's right. And while you're there, enter for the prize giveaways.
Yep.
So let's just do our normal stuff. We thank y'all so much for your support of the podcast. No matter how it is you support us, we are grateful for each of you. And like we were just saying, we wouldn't do this without y'all. And we're so grateful for you being on this journey with us. But a special thank you, especially to those of you who support us financially, because unfortunately it does cost money to do the podcast, whether it's shipping prizes, buying prizes, technology, etc., etc., etc. Thank you to those of you who support us financially. There's 3 main ways you can support us financially. The main one is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on what level you donate at. If you'd like to know more about that or would like to sign up, go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsnet.
What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are amazon.com, .co.uk, and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, go to our site first, click on the link or the image in the sidebar or the bottom of the show notes. Do your shopping as normal. We'll earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. Okay, why don't you tell them where to find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else you can find us online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
And with that, we'll tell you goodbye. Happy 7th Podiversary to y'all, too. We hope you're having a lovely end of summer, and if you're in the U.S., have a nice holiday weekend. It's Labor Day on Monday. I can't believe it's September already coming up just in a few days. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and keep on watching those podcasts. We will talk to you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.
Bye. adorable.
Happy 7th Podiversary to us. Happy 7th Podiversary to us. Happy 7th Podiversary. Happy 7th Podiversary. Happy 7th Podiversary to us. Yay! We get another year.
It's pumpkin spice.
Tammy was like, "You want a pumpkin spice cake?" I'm about to take a selfie of us. Ah, what happened?
You hit the wrong button.
Which button am I supposed to push?
The plus button, not the off button.
Ah! Okay, here we go. Pinky!
No, sniff the cake, Pinky.
Oops! I don't think you were supposed to have that. You're a stinker. Was it yummy? Oh! It was yummy.